Hello YouTubes and welcome to my video. My name is Yashsin and I play Maple Story 2 and I have over 1000 hours in this game already. So my builds are a little bit different than others. You can say a lot of people ask me about what builds I'm using. I'll show you all the builds I have and how to play your class, your sin, in an optimal way, in a perfect way, and to get the most out of your assassin class. So first we're gonna go through all the builds we have, and then we're gonna go through the stats, the min-maxing of your assassin, and then we will go through the gems, and lastly we will go through the consumables and the things you can use, the supplementary things that will help you increase your DPS way higher. So, and then we will also talk about macros during this video. So stay tuned and let's get started. So the first thing is, why am I using shadow build and what am I doing basically? So let's get on to the skills, yo. So this is my build right now. As you can see, I have Lucky Stars, it's maxed out, Shadow Cutter, Soul Burst, Soul Grind, Shadow is 9 out of 10. You cannot go 10 out of 10 because it requires 61. So if you hover your mouse over it, you can see it. Okay, so this is called Shadow build, and this is a pure DPS build because we do not have a Mark of Death here. So we, instead of Mark of Death and Dark Cloak, what we are doing is we are going to Shadow Web and we are taking Mirror Image Dark Blade 8 out of 10. Again, it requires level 62, so you can only have 8 points anyway. So this is maxed out, kinda. So now, what about the macros and stuff, and how this build works, and what's the combo to start with? So I will show you the combo. Basically, there's two ways to do it. You can do as either a manual casting build. You can use this as a manual cast, or you can do semi-manual cast slash macro, or you can be really lazy and you can just macro everything and just hit one button and basically just use dash and sometimes fatal strikes. So let's first talk about the opening of this build. So how you open with this build. Wait, I forgot to put this here. You need to put links here like this. Okay, so first of all I use QWER, Z, SDF, etc, etc, because A and S is at the moment for me is macro. So basically the S, if I press S, this will do only shadow cutters and lucky stars. But anyway, let's talk about the start first. So first you drop your dark blade and then you use your shadow chaser, or you can use your shadow chaser and dark blade, doesn't matter. Do like this, and fatal strikes on, and then just hold one button, and then you can just hold one button and everything will work for you automatically, so you don't need to do anything at all. Sometimes on this build I use the shadow web, this key, to evade something, so I can evade like this. If I have my dash is on cooldown, I can always use this. It's like an extra dash and I can go back to the boss. So another thing, make sure the shadow chaser, you are using the shadow assassin mark, and when to refresh it. Do not put it on macro, never put that in a macro, and always refresh when it's like 1 or 2 seconds left, so you can optimize your DPS. You don't need to just press like now because you can see it's only 13 seconds left. A lot of people I've seen, they just keep on smashing this button for some reason and then sending me message, why am I not doing damage, oh my god. So basically, you need to keep an eye on your buffs all the time. Okay, so now about the macros right now. Quickly, I will go through the macros with you guys. As you can see, I'm using two different macros. One is my S key, where I only use Lucky Stars and Shadow Cutter. The reason why I use this, because when I have less spirit, or when I'm manual casting stuff, or when sometimes the boss is moving, so I do not want to use this when the boss is moving, especially on CMOC boss. When the boss moves around and you're gonna place your soul grind there and the boss will move, so it will be 0 DPS, so I rather manual cast this. With my D key I'll just manual cast it. This build, this macro right now with my A key is mostly for CPAP, Devorak you can say, where the boss has, or even you can do this also on Bedrock when the boss does not move a lot. And I always cast this dark mirror image manually because sometimes, because you have to go into the boss you know, at the melee range to drop it and then go out quickly. So if you put this on a macro and where you're standing right now, it will not proc on the boss because you're too far away. So this is what I do. So basically this is pretty much it. This shadow build is like this. You can once again I will tell you, you can use this all macro. You can have two different type of macro you can use. You can use an A key like this for single target DPS, and you can use this S key for, you can bind these two in and you can manual cast it. So it's totally up to you how you want to play this class, play this build, shadow build. Um, Another thing about this shadow build is only very useful when you have uneven strength weapons. You can even use it if you have plus 15 both, but the main reason why I am using personally is because I have plus 12 weapon and plus 11 weapon. If I have both plus 15, I will not be using this build, but I might be, but most likely I will not be using this build because there is a better build for that you can use on single target. That's called Throne Mastery build. That's the one I will talk in a few minutes. Okay, so if you are on like my situation and if you have plus 12 and plus 11 uneven strength, not an equal strength weapons, and people ask you to go MOD, what you can do personally is you can just remove points from here. You can put 8 points inside, and you can remove soul grind 2 points and put it there, and that's pretty much MOD right there, because then you have mark of that 10 by 10. You're helping them, you're not losing much of a DPS basically. Why? Because this is a 14-second cooldown, and others, if you remove 2 points from there, especially from shadow arts, everything else become weaker. So I will highly recommend not to take points from shadow arts at least. That's the perfect skill for me that it has the highest cooldown, so I'll take it from here. This is okay, and this is obviously a spammy key, so this is spamming skill, these two. So I rather not take, I rather not make this skill weaker, because this is this is the most DPS coming from, so I should not make this weaker. And you can go like this. So basically this is a mark of that build right now. I don't take this. It's not even worth it. It's 45-second death sentence, so it's just not even worth it. Mark of that you need on when the boss is 30%, so you should do like this. Should be better. Okay, so another build I'll show you when you have both weapons plus 15. What you can do is you can go into preset and you can throw in focus.
This will make me even more effective.
Okay, so now this is the first variant of the build. A lot of people play like this. What they do, they manual cast this, and then they macro this key, Lucky Stars, with Shadow Chaser, Star Flurry. So you can do like that as well. And sometimes when you have a holy symbol from your priest, you can also spam Fragmented Star when it's 10 out of 10. It's also really good damage output. Only when you have a priest with a holy symbol on, when you have holy symbol on you buff. Do not spam this. You will be out of your spirit faster than fast. I don't know. So do not use this like spammy, because then everything else will become weaker, way weaker. My personal build, what I personally do, I do not go like this at all. I remove the points from here, and I go 10 out of 10 like that. So this is my variant. So what I do, I macro all these skills. I'll show you. On the macro, I do all these 4 skills, and then I only do Shadow Chaser, Fatal Strikes on, and press 1 key, and then that's pretty much it. So it's really nice on single target, obviously. So you can use this build like that. Some people don't macro Star Chaser, some people don't macro Star Flurry. It's just up to them. Personally, I just macro everything. You can do that. Another variant of this build, what I can tell you, you can also remove points from here. If you barely use this, you can put points here for an extra skill that you can use when the holy symbol is up, so just for extra little bit bursty damage. You can use that. Or if you're the only Saint, but you know you will clear the raid, but you want to help out a little bit, you can always put 3 points in mark of that. It will not hurt anyone. It's 3% additional damage anyway. And with Dark Cloak, Dark Cloak hidden passive is basically when you are on low spirit, you can pop your Dark Cloak. It will regen your spirit faster. I can show you. To be honest, let me see. If my spirit goes down, okay, the spirit is down. You can use spirit. It it fills up pretty fast. So you can also do that. That's a nifty trick you can do as well. So yeah, you can use that like that. Um, so it's also a small variant of that build. Okay, so let's talk about quickly. Um, I've shown you already the macro, but I can show you one more time. Um, this is a macro. You can see everything's macroed. Same thing you can do if you want to manual cast these two. You can also manual cast. So make sure you have two macro keys aligned. Depends on the situation, on the raid boss, or the world boss, or anything your dungeon boss, Balrog, or depends on the situation basically. What you want to do. Okay, so let's talk about the stats. Obviously, you need boss damage, a lot of boss damage on your armor. Um, like if you have headgear, boss damage bottoms, boss damage shoes. You need piercing, physical piercing, 7% if you're really lucky. You can get it on your legendary, on your gloves. I have 5.4%. It's okay. It's perfect. I don't really care about that much. Stat wise, what you should be aiming for, you should be aiming for a lot of piercing, a lot of crit damage, and a lot of boss damage. Obviously, you cannot have everything like maxed. So you should be aiming first of all on piercing and crit damage. So if you have a lot of piercing, let's say if you have way more than me, if you have 20% piercing, what you do, you will not be using this cape with crit damage and boss damage. You should be using Veracon wings. So when you use Veracon wings, if you have 20% piercing, this will happen. Let's see if the wing procs, if we are lucky. So basically, let's say if you have 20% piercing and a Veracon wing procs, oh, it's not proccing at all. So basically, Veracon wings give you 10% more piercing, so you will hit 30%. Okay, now you can see I have 25% piercing. So basically, if you have 20% piercing, you will hit 30% piercing for 10 seconds, and that's really helpful. And also, it gives you attack speed, so it doesn't hurt that much. So it's good, especially if you have around 180 crit damage with Veracon wings on, and around 20% boss damage with Veracon wings on. This will be really nice. This is what I'm waiting for, to be honest. So right now, I'm using crit damage and boss damage cape. It's okay-ish. If you have any cape with piercing and crit damage, it will be really nice as well. So if you have 3.5% piercing or 3% piercing and 160 or 160 plus crit damage on your cape, you should be fine as well. So basically you need to aim for a lot of piercing, a lot of crit damage, and 20% boss damage is fine. Don't worry about that. Physical piercing, you don't need more than 10%, and trust me, I've done CPAP, and CPAP requires 10% physical piercing. You can always increase physical piercing by 13, 13.5, 14%, depending on your guild buffs and whatever you use. Your pad and things like that can also increase this piercing, physical piercing, and crit damage. Okay, now let's check about this. Let's talk about the stats quickly, because I don't want to make 20-minute long video. Okay, on my pandit, well, everything you need is basically crit damage and piercing. So you need crit damage and piercing here. You need piercing here, and boss damage is okay, but crit damage is highly preferred. It's best in slot. Piercing and accuracy is okay. It's not that bad at all because I am low on accuracy. So for CPAP you need 96 accuracy. So with Archer buff, I'm fine with that. So I don't actually miss the boss on CPAP. So it depends how strong your accuracy buff is, your gem is. So basically I'm using this. Best in slot gonna be obviously all the stats, all the things gonna be piercing and crit damage. Okay, so one more thing, let's go on the pet. Obviously a lot of people don't show the pet, but I'm gonna show you the pet anyway because I don't care. The pet, you need an epic pet. If you can get an epic pet or any blue pet, you need to make sure that it's level 50 because blue pet will gives you around 420 extra damage to your character. That's hidden, you cannot see it, but you will feel it obviously when you hit something. Also level 50 pet does a lot of damage by itself. Level 50 epic pet gives you around 680. I think, I don't remember to be honest. If I'm wrong, you can always correct me. So epic pet gives you around 680, let's say, so 600 plus damage to your character. That's really nice. It also gives you 3 lines of talents. As you can see, I have crit damage, total damage, piercing. Uh, they are really nice lines, but if I get piercing 4%, that will be really, really nice. And also you can see the pet. I'll show you the pet auto attack. The pet does, my pet does this much auto attack. 14, 13, 13. Yeah, you can see the pet's damage right now. Sometimes it also crits, so it's just luck to be honest. So it crits now to 25k, and it's almost really close to my basic attacks basically. So yeah, you need an epic pet with with those stats. On all those pets, if you get a blue pet, you can also use that to make sure it's level 50, but make sure you're using a moon bear or the piggy, the baby boar pet, because they have the fastest attack speed in the game as compared to pets, because each pet has their own attack speed. So this is the highest one you can get. This is the fastest one you can get. So okay, one more thing. Uh, Bonus attack. Right now I have 700 bonus attack, but this is because I have 6 bonus attack jams, but you don't really need 6. You can use 5. Um, you can use 5 bonus attack or 4 bonus attacks and 4 your main stat jam and 1 accuracy jam. If you have any main stat jam, it will. Right now it's fine for me because I have 5 attack jam, but I will be replacing them soon shortly when I get my luck jam to tier 6 or tier 7. So that's the time when luck's getting stronger and stronger, because it's your main stat first of all, and secondly, it will out damage the bonus attack in later stages, because it matures nicely. You know, it gives you more. The higher it goes, basically, the yielding is better. So you can use luck gem. Don't need to equip it if you have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 luck gems. Wait until it gets mature enough, tier 6, tier 7, tier 8, and then you can swap it with your, and you can remove your attack gems and go to luck gems. This is very important. So you need 4 attack, 4 luck, or 5 attack, 3 luck, and 1 accuracy. Something like that. So accuracy I have tier 8, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and if you have any question, just feel free to ask. I play on EU servers. My name is Yashsin, and I hope I helped you in some way, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.